Hey everyone, we are back, episode 3 of Cornertalks. I'm your host, Cheese. And before we get started, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to listen to all sports and lifestyle podcasts. So we have a good amount of stuff going on. MLB, not so much. We got Juan Soto, a free agency still going on. Not that much signing that happened. Been over a week. NFL, couple of a lot of stuff going on in New York and games played this past weekend and coming up since Thanksgiving. And before we move on to the NBA part, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. But the NBA player coming back, game's going to be going on. So let's talk about Juan Soto. So Juan Soto is the only thing that's happening right now in free agency. No other signing that really talkative that want to talk about lately. The only team that are making signings is the Angels, but Juan Soto pretty much met with a good amount of teams. Philly, Blue Jays, Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, all those teams, the high-paying teams, are much more up there with the money part. But now he went down to about 5 teams. The Yankees, the Mets, Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Dodgers. So those 5 teams are the 5 that are right now in the mix of getting Soto. No other team. The Phillies didn't have that much money to offer Soto, the money that he wanted. So they're out. If I'm going to choose, it seems like it's going to still be towards the Mets' favor. I feel the Dodgers might be a little sneaky, but I think Soto either going to choose the Yankees or Mets. He likes the East Coast better, the West Coast, But yeah, that's it for MLB. Really nothing else going on, but that's just a little bit of an update of Soto free agency. Now, for NFL, we're going to be talking about a good amount for the NFL. So let me get started. Let me bring up the stuff that happened this past weekend. So we're going to talk about the games that happened. Let me pull it up. Come on. Let's go. What do we got? So, week 12. So we had pretty good games, man. Pretty good game. The Steelers versus Browns. That was a shocking one last Thursday. The Browns won 24-19. As you know, the Browns may not be a playoff team, but who knows? They did really well in the pretty much winter storm, I would say, versus the Steelers. Now, Titans versus Texans, a little bit shocking on this one. Texans lost 32-27 versus the Tennessee Titans. Vikings versus Bears. Vikings won versus the Bears 30-27. Again, the Bears should have won this game. Like I said last week, the Bears pretty much will somewhat be this close to winning a game versus the Vikings, and they almost did. But sadly, the Bears lost. Cowboys versus Commanders. Cowboys won 34-26. That one was a really wild ending. You got that 70, 80-yard throw from Daniels to McLaurin, and then the kicker misses the kick. And then all of a sudden, kickoff return came, that Cowboys scored a touchdown. Wow. I only watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch towards the end, but I saw the highlights. That was really impressive. Like, that game, Jerry Jones, I think, would have fired the head coach McCarthy if they lost. I have a feeling that would have happened. It looks like they might fire him. I'm not completely sure how the Cowboys are going to be doing with this, but very interesting how that game went. The Commanders should have won that game. They had a better, bet, I would say, of winning that game because overall better defense, better offense. Cowboys offense and defense all over the place. Injuries, and everything. Not really running that well. It's interesting during that game, but next up we got is Patriots versus Dolphins. Dolphins win 34-15. Pretty much won by 20. New England hasn't had a good season since Tom Brady left, I think. Well, they had one with, what's his name? Mac Jones was the rookie. That was the only good season they had that made the playoffs that one year. But 3 straight seasons, the Patriots hadn't had a good record, pretty much. Then we got Chiefs versus Panthers. This one, I bet a lot of sports bettors got pissed because they thought the Chiefs would have brutally beat the Panthers, but they ended up winning, but they won 30-27. I'm shocked that the Panthers almost beat them, but yeah, the Panthers lost again. Now, Bucks versus Giants. Woo! The Bucks fans, you guys might be laughing at Giants fans. The Bucks won 30-7. That was just a horrendous show. I watched a little bit of the game. That was just really bad on the Giants' part. No heart. Didn't even bother throwing the ball. I'll go over that after we go over next week's game. And yeah. But the Giants lost 30-7 versus the Bucks. Lions beat the Colts 24-6. Saw this game. The Colts did pretty good at the beginning of the game. They were running the ball, killing some time, and it was like the first quarter they only had 1 or 2 possessions. That's it. Both sides of the ball. It was awesome how the Colts were playing, but the Lions, changed their game plan, and they just ended up doing what they always do: throw the ball. Made some changes in running the game a little bit differently, but not as strong as every other game we all been watching. But Lions won 24-6. I think they're like 9-2 now. Pretty good. Broncos versus Raiders. Broncos won again 29-19 last week. I said the Broncos were going to win, and they won. Raiders already not a good season. You're without Minshew. He's out for the season. I think with a collarbone or something with his back. So he's out for the season. And they might get a new quarterback coming in. Who knows? But more likely their season's done. Who knows? Cardinals versus Seahawks. Like I said last week, game of the week, but I guess not because the Seahawks beat the Cardinals 16-6. Didn't watch this game, but I heard it wasn't the greatest game that people wanted to see. 49ers and Packers. I heard this was, the game of the week actually, but no. The Packers won 38-10 versus the 49ers. You might as well just fire the coach or just put all your rookies in. I don't know. 49ers. What do you think about the 49ers fans? That's really not a good look for the organization, but Green Bay doing your thing. Playoff team for sure. Eagles versus Rams. Eagles won 37-20 versus the Rams. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Maybe a little bit more points for the Eagles, but the Eagles won. Ravens versus Chargers. Ravens won 30-23. Like I said last week, the Ravens were going to win that game, and they did. Chargers were trying to come back. Justin Herbert was trying to do his thing, but the wide receiver, last name I think is Johnson, he didn't do that well. I don't know what happened, but he didn't do that well, dropping too many passes. But yeah, last week was very interesting. Some of the games were really good. Some of them were, you know how it is with the NFL. Some games good, some games great. Yeah. Now, let's move on to this week coming up. Like I said before, happy Thanksgiving for everyone. I hope everyone is, spending Thanksgiving with their loved ones and also with their friends and, yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Now, let's talk about the 3 games going on for Thanksgiving. We got the Bears versus Lions, Giants versus Cowboys, Dolphins versus Packers. I don't know why the Dolphins are in this one. I don't think I ever saw the Dolphins play on Thanksgiving. Very interesting. But let's see how these games are going to be going on. So the Lions versus Bears. The Lions definitely beat them by a lot. Caleb Williams not going to do that well. I feel like he's going to be, I don't know. The Lions defense are one of the best defense in the league without Aiden Hutchinson and their middle linebacker. Still one of the best defense in the league. Injury prone, but still putting up really good numbers against Pretty good teams. Uh, I can see my bad. The Lions who run the ball much more. The Bears aren't the greatest when it comes to running the ball. Throwing maybe a little bit, but I think the Lions are just gonna blow the Bears out easily on this one. Lions win this one. Giants versus Cowboys. Two really confusing organization right now. I think that Cowboys are going to win by a little bit just because of how the Giants played this past week versus the Bucks. But hey, maybe this past week versus the Bucks they're going to change the whole the whole organization around because that was really embarrassing. Who knows? But I'm gonna give this one to the Cowboys. A more better stable quarterback for the Cowboys compared to the Giants. Giants got cutlets, but offensive line is horrendous. At least the Cowboys almost, lost, but they still played a good team. Now, Packers versus Dolphins. This is why I didn't like this one because I'm like the Dolphins aren't really that good of a team to put versus the Packers. Yes, before the season, people were saying Dolphins are going to be a good team. Nope, nope. I'm gonna say maybe the Packers. They're gonna win. I think by a lot. Defense doing really good. Uh, I can't give anything for the Dolphins. The Dolphins seem like they might not win this one. Oh yeah, we got Lions winning it, Cowboys winning it, and Packers winning it. Let's see how well I do. I might be right on this one. Last week I did pretty good I would say. Uh, but yeah, let's see how that goes. Uh, by the way, the games you guys may or may not know. Thursday the Bears versus Lions starts at 12:30. Then you got 4:30 Giants versus Cowboys, and then at 8:20 Dolphins versus Packers. By the way, they're all PMs, not AM. Now let's look at the other games going on. Weird game we got going on Friday. Friday at 3 p.m. Who's gonna watch NFL on Friday at 3 p.m.? I mean, I'm gonna, but I'm thinking in general. Why a Friday? You would think it'd be a Saturday, maybe Sunday, but hey. We got Friday Raiders versus Chiefs. I'm giving it for the Chiefs. They're winning that one. Raiders are without Minshew, and yeah, you know how the Raiders are last couple of weeks. Well, whole season, I would say. Texans versus Jaguars. I'm going to give it to the Texans in this one. I know last week I was choosing the Texans to win it, but they lost. But Texans, I'm going to give it to them. This one, I feel like they're going to redeem themselves. Jaguars, I don't know. Not really confident in the Jaguars. Colts versus Patriots. I'm going to give it to the Colts. Richardson's doing his thing. Yeah, I think the Colts will do good versus the Patriots. They'll win this one. Chargers versus Falcons. I'm not really sure about this one. I'll give it for the Falcons, I guess. Yeah. Seahawks versus Jets. I'm going to give it to the Seahawks. The Jets are going to lose again. They're going to lose again. Make it 5 or 6 straight. I don't even know how many losses we lost. Titans versus Commanders. Give me... Titans did low-key did good last week. But I want to give the Commanders, they're going to beat them for sure. Defense much better than Titans defense. Offense on a roll. Steelers versus Bengals. Give it to the Steelers. But as you know, sometimes Bengals pull it out. I'm going to give it to the Steelers though. Cardinals versus Vikings. Vikings, no question about that. Don't have to explain at all. Rams versus Saints. I'm going to give this to... I'm going to give it to the Rams. I'm not confident with the Saints in this one. Bucks versus Panthers. Bucks. Gotta do it. I know Panthers did well last week versus the Chiefs, but I'm giving it to the Bucks. Eagles versus Ravens. Good matchup. I think that's the game of the week. Well, yeah. Because Thanksgiving game, no. If the Bears were good, then yeah, that's game of the week, but they're not good. That's not game of the week. But the game of the week, Eagles versus Ravens. Two really good teams on both divisions. I'm gonna give it to the Eagles, Uh, I feel like Barkley's gonna carry that team again. I feel like Hurts gonna do his thing, and I feel like the defense is gonna do somewhat solid versus Lamar Jackson. Yes, you got Derrick Henry, but I feel like Barkley's much better this season than Henry. And last but two more. 49ers versus Bills. I'm giving to the Bills. 49ers are a mess right now. Josh Allen's gonna ball out like always. So Bills win that one, and last but not least, Browns versus Broncos. Um, I don't give it to the Broncos. They've been on a roll. I think it might be a playoff team for sure. Browns, I know they won, so that they might boost up their confidence in coming into this week versus the Broncos. I'll give it the Broncos. Uh, I can't just go by one game the Browns did versus the Steelers. Yes, the Steelers are good, but the Broncos been a much better team than the Browns. So I'm giving it to the Broncos on this one. So yeah, so far, I talked too much. We got good teams. We got good teams. We got good games. I feel like the games that a lot of people want to watch, more likely Thanksgiving, 100%. Thanksgiving games. I think it's gonna be Dolphins. No, it's gonna be Bears and Lions and Giants and Cowboys. The main games people are gonna watch. I'm not sure about the Dolphins versus Packers. Maybe might be right, might be wrong. Who knows? And then the other game, I would say Steelers versus Bengals. Another game people want to watch. Eagles versus Ravens, 100%. And I think maybe Bills versus 49ers, but if Brock Purdy plays, which I don't think so. But yeah, that's it for the game last week, the game this week. Now, let's talk about what went on in the NFL, especially in New York. So let's talk about what happened in New York, the Jets and Giants. Uh, oh, breaking news, kind of, not really. Aaron Rodgers just said this. Aaron Rodgers unsure about playing next year. Jets would be first option if he did. Ooh. So let's talk about the New York Jets. So the reason why there's a lot of stuff going on for the Jets is that you have GM Joe Douglas fired, as you guys saw last week, and it seems like Woody Johnson pretty much being in control of this whole thing. So we're not sure where the Jets are going. Are they going to rebuild without Aaron Rodgers, or they're going to keep Aaron Rodgers and still try to be a playoff team? They need a new GM. They need a new coach. Um, there's so many options for a head coach, but other teams need head coaches too, like the Titans, the Jaguars, more likely, maybe the Browns, the Giants, of course, if they turn around, which I'll talk about them soon. But there's a lot of coaches out there that the Jets want to go after. You can go for this name, Brian Johnston, I think his name, offensive coordinator for the Lions. He's in both top candidate for the job. But it's going to be kind of tricky for the Jets to get him because other teams might pay more money to get him as their head coach, or he might stay in Detroit. A lot of coordinators that are really good, they more than half the time they don't go to a different team because they like their team where they're at right now, and either it's the money or it's just how the organization is running or whatever. They just stay more often. So I'm not sure if Johnson's going to leave the Lions. I feel like he might stay, but who knows? I don't think the Jets are really going to get him because of what's going on. And I feel like other teams, like I said, can offer him more money. But you got Rex Ryan, my guy, Rex Ryan. You got Brian Flores, and you got John Gruden, my bad. John Gruden, Brian Flores, and Rex Ryan. Those are three candidates that many people are saying that the Jets should go after. Yes, you got Bill Belichick. Yes, you got, Mike Vrabel, if I said his last name right. You got those two options as well, but Bill Belichick does not like the Jets. He's not coming. I'll just say it like that. It's not going to happen. Mike might get him. I feel like he's one of our options, but I feel like the best option right now is three coaches. Yes, two of them had a lot of, problems in the past with other teams. So I'll explain what happened. So Brian Flores, really good coach, was under Bill Belichick for many years in New England, and he got offered a job playing Miami. And there was a lot of stuff going on that he was paid to lose games, even though he didn't want to lose games. He had really good records, and people were shocked that he got fired. All that stuff. You can look into that online. And now he's in Minnesota, doing really good with the Minnesota Vikings as either offensive or defensive coordinator. So, you have that. Now, John Gruden, as you know, the whole email situation stuff, you're not really sure about how he is as a person. Yes, he had old school football. He liked that bluntness out of him. Really good record as a head coach, experience in the Super Bowl and playoffs, but you're not 100% sure, if he matured. I don't know the whole story, but he's a little iffy of a option. And last but not least, Rex Ryan. He used to head coach for the Jets 6 years, out of the 8 years as a head coach, 2 back-to-back AFC Championship games in 2009 and 2010. He is a better option. I think Rex Ryan is a better option compared to the other coaches because every single year the Jets are going after offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator that's been in the league for a long time, but isn't that, we gotta get him type of coach. We keep through the same cycle every 3 to 4 years, same cycle. You need to bring back a old school coach that knows the New York Jets, and that is Rex Ryan. Come on. Yes, back-to-back AFC Championship games, and his record was pretty decent during his time with the Jets, but towards the end, not so much. Had a 4-12 record or 4-8 record, something like that, and they fired him. And I don't know what the issue was. Might be personality-wise with the owners and with him. Who knows? But he's a head coach that you want on your football team. He loves the Jets. I haven't seen any coach that loves the Jets as he does. He's from New York. I think maybe he's a Jets fan. I'm not sure if he was a Jets fan growing up, but he's from New York. He knows the New York market. He knows how to be a head coach in this league. I know it's been since last time he coached was 2016, but he learned. He learned his lesson. He even says in many of the podcasts, there's stuff that I should have done differently, and that I think now, if I come back and coach with the Jets, it's gonna be something special. And you gotta give the man some props. He definitely can be a turning point for this organization. Yes, you can only give one person one shot, but why not 2? And I think he's the perfect guy for the job. He really wants to coach. You could just tell, every time you bring up football, or especially the Jets, he's so passionate about the team. He knows. He's like, we have really good talent on this team. So much talent. How do you not win ball games? And he knows, So, me personally, I think the Jets should bring back Rex Ryan. I know I was a pretty diehard fan as when I was younger of a Rex Ryan fan. I know that, you gotta move on to the past, this and that. But when was the last time we had a good season? 1 year. We had one good season. We had a positive record with Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker. And that was the last time we had a good record. Other than that, we haven't had a good record since we went to the back-to-back AFC Championship games in 2009, 2010. So might as well bring him back, honestly. And just see how it goes. Sign him at 1 year contract, maybe a 2-year contract, and see how it goes. And if he can turn this football team around, this could be a really interesting fairy tale. Honestly, very interesting. So we'll just have to see. I just think Rex Ryan's the perfect guy for the job. You can say John Gruden and Brian Flores, but I feel like you should just bring back Rex. You can just hear it in him that he loves the team a lot. That's what I think. Comment down below what you guys think. Which team should the Jets hire as the next head coach? And so as for GM, Not really sure. Been hearing a lot of names going on about the GM search for the Jets. It's very iffy because many GMs that have worked with the Vikings and the Colts and many other teams, they were good, but they always had something personal going on or something with one player carrying that team. So you can see that uh, the full level of how smart that GM was, because if it wasn't for that one player doing that well for that team, you don't know how well that GM would have ran that organization. Um, so we're not sure right now, but the Jets just hired Mike Tannenbaum, which was a former GM for the Jets. He had a GM search firm. Him and a former Vikings GM, they're both in that company. They're helping Woody Johnson find the next GM for the Jets. People are saying that's so bad. Why they're doing that, bro? They're just GMs that have their own company. Well, former GMs that have their own company. It's not a big deal. They're not gonna run the show. Then I'll get it. But they're just trying to find a new GM for him. They had knowledge in the past of being a GM. Why not let them control, instead of Woody Johnson picking people out of a hat? I'll be fine with it, but let's just see who they choose for GM before they choose head coach. Oh, the Jets are a little bit dysfunctional right now, but we'll see what happens next. Now, I talk a lot for the Jets. Sorry, I'm a Jets fan. I loved them since I was little. I want them to succeed, but they haven't succeeded in a while. Now, as for the other New York team, the Giants, a lot of Giants fans were mad. They wanted the owner to sell the team, just like the Jets, sell the team. The Giants, on the other hand, I think they're a little bit more dysfunctional compared to the Jets. Uh, you sign a quarterback for $200 something million for I think 5 6 years, something like that, and hasn't done anything good after that one playoff season. And you guys already saw they put Daniel Jones in the practice squad as a safety, a 215 or $50 million quarterback, a safety. Like what? And then a day later, not even, they release him. Daniel Jones wanted out though. I'm not saying the Giants wanted to just release him, but Daniel Jones wanted out. So we have that. Giants game, like I said, 30-7. You get manhandled by the Bucks. Saw the highlight. No heart. You run right over the O line. Sack Cutlets. You pretty much don't give Malik Neighbors the ball in the first half until the second half, and then everyone's on him like he being a little bit too much in the press conference. Look, look what he said. I don't blame him for getting mad. I don't blame him because you're losing 30-0. You ran the ball, and if you did throw the ball, you'd even throw to him. Until the second half, you start throwing him the ball. He's like, "Oh, why are you throwing me the ball in the second half? We could have had a lead or somewhat closer to, having a lead. But you mean the ball in the second half? Doesn't make any sense." He's frustrated. The Giants haven't had a well-run organization since before Eli left. Um, it's ridiculous. You get rid of Barkley. You're like, oh yeah, we'll match with the Eagles. Oh, well, it's fine. He won't, take the Eagles contract. He took it, and he's from Philadelphia. He took it because he is worth the money. And you saw him the year before he left New York. He was doing good. I don't think he even got injured. But you give your contract, that big contract, to a quarterback who barely did anything. But Barkley, when he's on the field, he changed the game for your team automatically. See how he's doing for the Eagles, changing the game for them right now. MVP, I feel like, more likely. And then you have what's his name? Xavier McKinney, if I said it right. I don't think his name is Xavier. He's on the Packers. doing awesome for the Packers. He was on the Giants, and they let him go. So I'm not really sure what the Giants are going to be doing. Very confusing organization. I feel like if you had to choose which organization is much more dysfunctional, the Jets or Giants, and they both are, but if I had to choose, the Giants. The reason why I said the Jets is you have a better foundation, a better players on that team. You just got to need a GM and a head coach in place, and the owner needs to back up, and you're set. Playoff team automatically. The Giants, not so much. Defense is okay. Offense, horrible. No line. You have no other wide receiver besides Neighbor. Running back is Devin Singletary. No offense, but he's not that good. Uh, so who else are you really having on that team? And you give money to the wrong spots. So it's yeah, bad on the Giants side compared to the Jets, but both are dysfunctional. I would say that. But yeah, that's it for the New York football team rant. Now let's talk about other stuff going on in the NFL, if there's any. Let me double check. We got Deshaun Watson. He will likely remain in Cleveland for the 2025 season, so he was out in the beginning, towards the middle of the season, due to an injury that kept him out the whole season. So we'll see what the Browns will do. I feel like they're just gonna keep him and start him again. Who knows? Interesting. Let's talk about. Ooh, I just saw this. 6 hours ago, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said that he's not ruling out a contract extension for head coach Mike McCarthy. He says this. I don't think that's a crazy. He said, I don't think that's crazy at all. This is a Super Bowl winning coach. Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy has been there and done that. He has a great idea. We got a lot of football left. So Mike McCarthy, 61 years old, is in the final year of contract with the Dallas Cowboys. He posted a 46-32 record during his 5 years with the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are 4-7 this year. So, I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm a football fan, but if I'm gonna see what I feel about this, I don't feel confident in this for the Cowboys. Yes, Super Bowl, coach and records somewhat good, but look at your locker room, bro. I don't know if maybe the players aren't happy with the coordinators that are on the staff or with him. I don't think nobody wants to really head coach for Dallas Cowboys. I don't think so because I have a feeling that a lot of the coaches want to avoid the Cowboys. Uh, kind of kind of iffy on that one. I'm not sure about that. And then I'm not sure. I'm gonna throw that up in the air. I'm not really sure about that. But then I don't know if I mentioned this, but Daniel Jones got cut by the Cowboys. I think I did earlier. And he doesn't have any interest joining the Las Vegas Raiders. So Minshew's out this season. We're not sure if Will's gonna step up to be the QB. I'm not sure who the backup is. I forgot his name is, but I don't think he's gonna be the starter. Maybe he will. Who knows? But Daniel Jones doesn't want to join the Las Vegas Raiders. He wants to join a contending team. A contending team, no offense, doesn't want you, Daniel. Uh, they already have a backup. Most of them have it. Maybe not one or two of them, but they don't really need you that badly. But I would say wait it out, see what transpires in the off season, and then sign with a team that will help you get a starting job or be a backup. Learn. Who knows? But I feel like Barkley, like Xavier McKinney, uh, Xavier McKinney. Oh, wow. Uh, Not McKinney. Like Packers player, defensive back or corner for the Packers. Uh, them two, they were doing okay at the Giants, and then all of a sudden they go to a different team and they do well. Just like Baker Mayfield was with the Browns, then the Rams, now on the Bucks, he's doing amazing. So yeah, I can't believe I say Xavier McKinney. Uh, wait, yeah, I'm right. I keep thinking Malik Neighbors. My bad on that one. So then we have what else? What else? Yeah, nothing really else happened. But in Washington D.C., as I see right here, 11-game losing streak for the Washington Wizards, 3-game losing streak the Washington Commanders, and Alex Ovechkin broken leg for hockey. For my hockey fans out there, not a good sight for Washington sports, but hey man, you'll redeem yourself. It's all good. And now, what else? What else? What else? Nothing really going on. We have a player from the, one more, Los Angeles Rams. Demarcus Robinson was arrested the night before from a DUI. Cops pulled over Robinson after they clocked him driving over 100 miles per hour. So we're not sure what's going to go on for Robinson. He is a fairly new wide receiver for the Rams. Saw him a couple of times playing. He was somewhat some sparks here and there to be a solid piece as a wide receiver 3-ish for the Rams. But I'm not sure why he did this. I don't get why a lot of NFL players do this. You get yourself in trouble. You have all this right in front of you and you do this. So one silly mistake can ruin your career 100%. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So that's it for the NFL. No other news happened. We're just waiting for the head coach for the Jets. The Giants head coach has been not sure if they're going to fire them. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on for the New York sports football team. Nothing for NFL wise I can think of right now. No. So let's move on to the NBA. So we have a good amount of stuff going on in the NBA. We got, so many of you guys, well, should we go over the games? We have to go over the games. I'm gonna wait until my co-host Meech or me, we can talk about the game, see how we're gonna, see if we can do a full out who's gonna win, who's gonna lose each week. We're not sure if we're gonna do that. I'm not sure, but stay tuned for that. We might change it up. But NBA news, we got a couple of players coming back. We got Kristaps Porzingis. He came back last night, made his debut. Let's see how Kristaps Porzingis did for the Celtics. So let me pull it up right now. So Kristaps, he got, let me see, where are the stats? I'm trying to pull it up. Sorry guys, I'm out of breath. I'm talking a lot. I'm losing my voice. So Kristaps Porzingis did okay. He played 23 minutes, 16 points, 2 assists, and 6 rebounds. So not bad. You would think it'd be a little bit but pretty good. As you know, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum doing their thing, dropping 20 and 17 as the Celtics won first the Clippers, 126-94. Celtics are 15-3, still on a roll, very impressive. And we got Kristaps back. Deontay Murray's going to be coming back this Wednesday, so tomorrow. So I'm hyped to see him play once again. He only played about 1 to 3 games in the beginning of the season due to a hand injury. So he fractured his hand during the game versus the Bulls. So Zach LaVine was trying to put his hand up, and for some reason it fractured his hand, which I don't know how that happened. But he'll be making his return on Wednesday versus the Raptors. So happy about that. John Morant came back yesterday from a 8-game hip injury. So let's see how John Morant did last night. Let's see. Let's see. As the Grizzlies won 123-98, and Morant did really good. He did really, really good. He had about 23 points, about 11 assists. So really, really good for only 23 minutes or 20 minutes. It was nice. It was really nice. I was shocked because the Grizzlies wanted to put him at a restriction of minutes, but dropping that much for 23 minutes, whew. But that's why you have good teammates around you to help you be a really good player. And props to the Grizzlies of winning that game versus the Blazers. Now, the Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, saga, because we don't know how well this team's going to be doing with them two, with Devin Booker. They're both going to be returning tonight versus the Lakers. They played last night. Let me check. Let me check the Suns. Unless they played last night. Oh, tonight. Let me check. Trying to pull it up. Why can I type in Suns? There we go. Yeah, so tonight, Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant will be coming back, and they'll be on the same floor. I'm not sure when the last time they were on the same floor. No idea. It's been a while. But we'll see how they do. As for what else? Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic, I said his name right. The Bulls are still trying to shop them two as well as Patrick Williams. So they're more eager to get rid of Patrick Williams than them two. We'll see what the Bulls will do this time. They did this last year. Nobody wanted Zach LaVine's contract, especially his injury prone of a player he was. And I think Nikola, you know what I mean, the center, contract I think was an issue, but I'm not sure why no teams didn't want him. So we're going to see. We're going to see how the Bulls are going to do this trade, and they're going to trade more likely to be rebuilding 100%. Their main player is going to be Kobe White as their franchise player for sure. I don't think they're going to get rid of him. He's still young. We'll see what they'll get back. Who knows? Maybe they'll still be a playoff team. I don't know. But I don't know what Chicago's doing, bro. Chicago really got a good team. You had DeMar DeRozan at one point with these players plus Lonzo Ball, and then you couldn't capitalize that. How? Like, I bet you if you play 2K and you're that team, definitely a playoff team. For sure. For sure. Yeah, what else basketball news do I see? Let's see. Oh, breaking news, Lonzo Ball, who has been out for the Chicago Bulls since October 28th with a wrist injury, will return to the lineup on Wednesday against Orlando. So, Lonzo Ball was out for, as you guys know, 2 years, I think, almost 2 years, a year and a half, with a, I think, knee injury, something with his leg. And he was, recovering some progress, had some step backs, and then he came back. I'm like, all right, but now he injured his wrist during one of the games, out for that long. Now he's back. Not sure what the Bulls are going to be doing with him right now. It looks like his minutes are going to be even like 15 minutes or 10 minutes. I don't think they're going to bump him up to 25 to 30 minutes yet. Maybe later on. But he's an injury-prone player. I don't know. I don't know what the Bulls are going to do with him. I give him a lot of props of sticking with him. That's very, very professional by the Bulls to do that. I know he has a good amount of money on their payroll, but a lot of teams trade them away or they cut him. And it's been almost 2 years since he last had played a full season, I guess. Maybe even longer. So if I was the Bulls, I would just like put him in minute restrictions, see how he does, and then if he's injured again, trade him. If you can't trade him, cut him. Because it's getting ridiculous. Like, you're holding the Bulls back, Lonzo. No offense, but you're holding them back big time. So, we're going to see. We're going to see. Now, it looks like the Brooklyn Nets, they want to get rid of their three main pieces. And they are Dorian Finley-Smith, Cam Thompson, and Dennis Schroeder. So, as you know, Dennis Schroeder doing really good. Pretty much the point guard for that team. Shooting guard, what do you want to call it? Cam Thompson, Dennis Schroeder, both pretty much in charge of the ball. But mainly Dennis Schroeder is the one in charge. And then Cam Thompson dropping buckets, 20, 25 points a game. And Finley-Smith, okay. Good wing that shoots the three. Good solid defense. Rebounding, pretty okay. But what teams do want these three players? And it sounds like Cam Thompson and Dorian Finley-Smith are the main topic of conversation for teams that really want them. And the teams that really want him more are the Lakers and the Bucks. Those are the two teams that really want him, want both of them that bad. It's really tricky to see what the Lakers will give for Finley or Cam Thompson. I feel like Finley is much more of an easier time to get than Thompson. Thompson is much more of a draft capital, maybe a player or two that the Lakers really can't give to the Nets. But for Finley-Smith, it's much easier because he's not the greatest player of the team, but he'll help your team out. I feel like adding a wing of a player like him on the team, perfect for the Lakers. Might be a backup, forward, but who knows. Cam Thompson, I can kind of see him go to the Bucks, but then you have Damian Lillard and Giannis, and he's gonna ball hog the whole time. That's not what the Bucks are about. What other teams I can see Cam Thompson going to? I can kind of see him go to Miami Heat, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's kind of hard because if Cam Thomas was a player that was not a ball-dominant player that will pass the ball, many teams want him. But he's a ball hog, and not a lot of teams want him. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a lot of teams do want him, but we don't know about it. But what I've seen, mainly Lakers and Bucks want him. Yeah. We'll see. Dennis Schroeder, I'm not really sure. I feel like Dennis Schroeder is pretty much every team, starter or mainly backup guard. I'm not sure. There hasn't been that much talk about him, but he's been in the mix here and there about going to another team. What other NBA news? Orlando Magic, 9-1 in their last 10 games and are 12-7, third place in the East. Who's shocked about that? The Orlando Magic, one of the most laughable franchises in the NBA for the past, since Dwight Howard left. Since Dwight Howard left, they haven't had a really decent record since then. That was when they made the NBA Finals. So, Magic is doing something here. It looks like a lot of players on the Orlando Magic team are all getting along. They're all knowing their strengths and weaknesses. They're trying to, focus on winning. And that's what the Magic should be doing. So props to Magic for doing this. Even without Pablo Banchero, say it wrong. Without him, even more impressive. But with him, really good. Wagner's going off. He dropped like 30 points in 3 games straight. It's really good. Really, really, really good. Every other player stepping up next to him. So it's awesome. Anthony, you got Suggs. You got Jonathan Isaac doing his thing. Really good. Really good. What else we got here? As you know, many players are dropping buckets. Last night, Russell Westbrook Went off 24 points in the fourth quarter. Really impressive on Westbrook. He's a bench player, been taking that role for the past year, 2 years, something like that. So he accepted that role, and he did really good. I think that's his go-to spot for now until he retires. But so far, pretty good for Westbrook. Now, yeah, LaMelo Ball's been going off lately. 44 points in the game versus the Magic. LaMelo Ball went off a couple of times. Yeah, 40 something apiece. Some other players are going off for 40 apiece. Giannis went off one day. Very interesting. And then you got OG Anunoby for the Knicks. He dropped 40 something last night. Jalen Brunson got 17 assists. Whew. So, good amount of players are dropping a lot of buckets. So yeah, that's it for the NBA. If I missed anything, comment down below. Before we wrap it up, let me double check if we forgot about anything else. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I got anything else to talk about. We just got a lot of news going on. I'm just gonna recap and give you my thoughts about it. Like I said, my co-host Meech should be back in about a month, but it sounds like he might be coming back this week coming up. So we'll see if that's still gonna be going on or not. If not, I'll be back here by myself next Tuesday. Stay tuned. We got more content of sports. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're still going to talk about baseball when he comes back. Maybe if something happens, I'll just make a separate video for it and post it on the channel. And yeah, guys, like always, like, comment, and subscribe. And see you guys in the video.